Hi again. In this video I'm going to show you how to make use of the virtual tabletop, which is the last module of those sessions. As you can see, we have two devices here. We have the Windows on the left and a browser on the right, just to showcase the cross-platform nature of the application. Now, if we go inside our campaign into our main device, which is the Windows one, where we are the owner of the campaign, we can see that we have a room code in the campaign information and a quick switch. This switch will allow you to make the campaign discoverable from other players. Once that is switched, which we already have done, we can simply click on the room code and share it. We can share it via our social media channels, via email, how we want. Once we have that and we send it to our players, the player can simply apply the code, and this will allow to join the room. The room is a canvas where the GM will broadcast imagery, and every token, movement or walls will be shared. Now let's go in our scene management that we already have seen in the previous video. And for instance, let's select Raven Crossing, our village in the desert. Once we have that, all we have to do is simply click in VTT. Now remember, once we click VTT, we send the image as is. So if some layers needs to be removed, we can simply unflag. In this case, I want to keep the point of interest just for my understanding, for myself. So we click VTT, and here we go. Here we have the scene, and such scene is what we are going to broadcast to the other player. To do so, we can simply click this button. By simply click this button and click share image, the image will be made available for the other players. In this case, our player is using a browser. Now, what you have noticed as well is on the screen there are a different bunch of features that are available from the GM but not on the player side. Here we can see a chat. The chat can be simply used to communicate with your player. In this case, we can simply send a message, and on the other side the message will be there. The chat is not only for messaging, it's also for rolling a dice that can be useful in different situations. Another thing is the support tab. Here you can submit bug, you can submit feature, improvement, questions, and I personally will receive them and I will make the best of it to make sure that you are engaged and you enjoy the product. So let's go into the toolbar, and at the top we can see that we have a series of settings from the edit map. Here we can change the grid type. Let's go hexagonal. We can apply the vision during the night, and as you can see, the grid has changed, and also you can see that there is a shadowy effect, and such shadowy effect will be seen like this to the player. Now let's revert to our square, which I'm more comfortable with. Here what we are going to do is also being able to modify the walls. As you can see, the walls are coming already set up, and the walls will be helpful for us once we set the fog of war and the night. So we are going to place a token. The token is simply a token. So in initiative, let's put 10. Simply let's put a quick token over here. The token come from different also layout in case we want to update the sprite. We can make it royal, let's say, and we can apply some conditions, so things that you're already familiar with. As you can see, the fog of war is already doing its job, and the player will be only able to see what you want him to see. And of course you can simply remove the fog and put daylight, so this does not apply anymore. Another thing that can be done is, of course, shapes. Here in shapes you can quickly draw and apply some shapes that might be useful for distances or point out something to your players. And of course those shapes can be made available or not to the player. Here we are applying a rectangle that in this case is not available to the player. Another thing that can be done is apply a fog, manual fog. If we apply, for instance, a fog of war and we put night, we can decide what the player will be able to see. Another thing that can be done, and if we go into here, we can see that we have the door. We can simply click on the wolf segment and make this wall a door that can be open and closed. We have a measure, it can be helpful, and of course we can zoom in, zoom out. Another thing that we can see that the GM has is the encounter that we have previously covered in our journal management. Here everything is shared, so wired together. What is written here will be available in your journal. Here of course we can add our token from the map. In this case we have only one. You can simply import it, and here we will have the token. In case there will be multiple tokens, you can just import them all at once. Of course here you could roll your dice, and the log will be of course updated accordingly. Another thing that is available is of course the token list. The token list allows you to quickly zoom to the token of your choice so that everything is organized and you always know where to go. And then we have the draw list. In this case we have the shapes, we can simply remove it. Then of course we can show and hide the grid, and we can tweak it in terms of size, offset, in case the dungeon requires some tweaking. As you can see, the token is following accordingly. And let's reposition it here so that, you know, if the streets are narrow, you want to make sure that the token fit. And then we have of course the session nodes, where you can apply any nodes of your choice. And we have the sound part, where you can play your effects on demand whenever you please. And this is pretty much what the virtual tabletop is about. Of course, if you wanna upload a new scene, we quickly go there, or we tweak that on demand, or we go into our town, and here you can see that it's much bigger. We can just go quickly in VTT, and once inside, as you can see, the size of it is quite impressive. we can simply broadcast it. And the new player will have the new scene available. And with this, guys, it concludes the virtual tabletop module. I again thank you for your patience, and if you have any question, please do not hesitate. Send me an email. Thank you again, and I wish you a happy discovery. Bye bye.